How do FAFSA dependency rules apply to non-traditional families? Imagine trying to figure out your financial aid options and feeling unsure about what information to include. That's where understanding FAFSA dependency rules comes in. These rules decide whether you need to report your parents' financial details when applying for federal student aid. For students from non-traditional families, things can get a bit more complicated. But don't worry, I'll break it down clearly. First, the basic rule is that if you are 24 years or older, married, a graduate student, a veteran, or supporting dependents for whom you provide at least half of their financial needs, you are automatically considered independent. This means you don't have to include your parents' income or assets on your FAFSA. If you are an emancipated minor, have been in foster care after age 13, or are an unaccompanied homeless youth, you also qualify as independent. Now, what about students living with relatives other than their biological or adoptive parents? Usually, the FAFSA expects you to report your biological or adoptive parents' information unless you have legal guardianship or adoption papers. If you live with grandparents, aunts, uncles, or siblings but don't have legal guardianship, you generally still need to include your parents' financial details. However, if your parents are incarcerated, deceased, unknown, or your home environment is unsafe, you can ask for a dependency override. This is a special exception granted by your college's financial aid office. If approved, you can file as independent and skip parental information. Students who have been in foster care at any point since age 13 are automatically independent. The same goes for students who are legally emancipated or in guardianship. These statuses allow you to exclude your parents' financial info when applying. In rare cases, if your family situation is unusual, say you've been abandoned or abused, you can request a dependency override. You will need to provide documentation and get approval from your college's financial aid administrator. Knowing these rules is key because your dependency status affects how much financial aid you can get. Independent students often qualify for more need-based aid since parental income isn't considered. For students from non-traditional families, understanding whether they need to include parental info or can qualify as independent can make a big difference in their college funding options. If you're in a non-traditional family, gather any legal documents like guardianship papers or foster care records. If you support dependents, keep track of your financial contributions. It's also a good idea to talk to your college's financial aid office early if you think you might qualify for a dependency override. Sometimes, even if you can't provide parental information, completing the FAFSA as an independent can open up more aid opportunities. Remember, FAFSA dependency rules focus on legal relationships and financial responsibility, not just who lives in your house. If you support dependents, have been in foster care, or have legal guardianship, you might qualify as independent. Otherwise, unless you get a dependency override, you'll need to include your parents' financial details. Understanding this can help you navigate the financial aid process more confidently and ensure you're getting the aid you're eligible for.